Well, well, well. Look who's here. We're back, everybody. Don't get too excited. It's just a one-off thing, but man, are the four of us excited. We are excited to see all of you guys, and we decided to start a little early tonight. It's only 4 after. Can you believe it?
It's true.
What's happening today is an exciting day in the Divi community. You know, when they announced Divi 5, we did not know that that 5 stood for how many decades we'd be waiting for it to come out. And yet the day has finally arrived. We're back. We've got a ton of the OGs in the chat already there chatting it up and everything. If you are listening live someplace else, jump over to YouTube. That's where the action's happening, and we're going to be saying hi to everybody and having a little bit of fun. And also you can put some questions in there, and we're going to answer some questions live a little bit later in the show. But before we kick off this special episode about Divi 5 on the actual Divi 5 launch day, why don't we go around and meet our panel today? Mr. Mike, why don't you start us off?
Thanks, Steph. It's really great to be here. My heart's pounding. That's really exciting. It's really great to be back with everybody. Hi, everyone. My name's Mike Devitt, and I still run my web design and SEO agency here in the deepest, darkest corner of East Kent in a place called Sandwich, which is not only famous for inventing a certain lunch or snack item, it is also the home of Royal St. George's, where the Open was last played in 2021 and won by an American, Colin Morikawa.
Wow.
Wow. I
had no idea.
That's super interesting. All right.
There you go.
All right.
It's always
Tim.
a mystery what Mike's going to say during his
Yeah,
intro.
you know
I
what?
love it.
I should have been prepared, and I wasn't.
Love it. Hey, everyone. Tim Strifler here. And yeah, excited to be back. It's been a long time. For those that are new, welcome to Divi Chat. We used to do this each and every week. I mean, we missed some weeks here and there, but for like 8 years. And we ended in 2024, but who knows? It's a new era of Divi. Maybe it'll be a new era of Divi Chat. No promises, but we'll see. Super excited to be here, talk about Divi 5. It's a big day. Really loved seeing familiar names and faces as far as profile pictures go. So thanks for everyone for joining. And you can find me online at divilife.com. And yeah, about to launch a Divi 5 course. More on that later.
Hey, everybody. So really excited for this. Been looking forward to it since we decided to do this not even a week ago. But yeah, really excited to be back. Last time we were on, I had no idea what country we were in as a family, but we have settled down a little bit. We're in the States for a couple months while we actually work to immigrate closer to Mike. We've decided that we need to be closer to Mike. He sold us. It was really the sandwich comment a little bit ago that sealed the deal. But we're
going to go and live in Ham, just down the road.
Right. That's right. There you go. Oh my gosh. Oh, so anyway, still running the agency in Transit Studios and doing coaching, helping people build their own team. And yeah, ready to talk about Divi 5 and just good to hang out with you guys. So yeah, let's ready to do this.
Thanks, everybody. My name is Stephanie Hudson. I'm here representing Focus WP, as I always was. And at Focus WP, we've got a huge team of white label marketing worker bees. We've got developers, copywriters, designers, you name it. And the developers include some Divi 5 experts. So that's something I'm really proud of and we're happy about. And I've got another little special thing that's actually launching really soon. And I'm doing a special offer, founders offer, but we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. In the meantime, I mean, let's get into it though. Let's not, that was one thing about Divi Chat. We used to always do so much chit chat at the beginning. When I listen to podcasts now, I'm like, man, I would never tolerate that at this point. Like I'm so much like 30 seconds, skip. So let's start off with a little like catch up on Divi 5. Speaking of not ketchup like you put on your sandwich in England. No, let's talk about what is Divi 5. To me, it's like this is the new version. It went from Divi 4 to Divi 5, but is it even the same? Is it even a new version, or is it just a whole new thing? And before we dive in, we're gonna have also a little we're gonna do a drinking game, as I like to do, as you know. Every time someone on this episode in the chat or in the show says something is a game changer, take a shot. That's what's going to happen. Or if they say from the ground up, because those are the two things we're going to hear again and again on this episode. So,
those
okay,
are two
Tim,
things I like to say a lot, not just about Divi, but
I know.
All right, I'll take a shot of my sparkling water.
Yeah.
So Divi 5 has been reinvented from the ground up and is a total game changer. No, but really it is. And I'm going to try not to spend too much time talking about this because I think everyone kind of knows the basics. It's been completely rebuilt, no short codes, whole new foundation. Divi 4 had a really outdated foundation as far as the technology goes, and that really held it back from being able to create modern features. And so if you've been keeping up with the emails from Nick Roach and Elegant Themes and looking at the updates, they've been pumping out a lot of features into Divi 5 because they finally can. It's like they've been having to hold back all these ideas and features and things that competitors had. And so now they're able to finally pump them out, which is exciting. A couple things I want to mention about kind of the new direction with Divi 5 is thinking back on Divi 4, and this is something that I probably said many times on Divi Chat and said it a lot of different places, but Divi 4, kind of the old version of Divi, has always been easy enough for beginners, but powerful enough for professionals. And that was kind of, that's where I put my flag. Like, it's easy for beginners, but professionals still use it too. And we're really seeing a shift with Divi 5 where I think it's getting a little bit away from that beginner audience and kind of focusing more on the professional audience. And not to say that beginners can't use it and you can't learn it and stuff, but I think it's almost like it's like Divi grown up. And I think if you've been using it, you know what I mean, where classic Divi or old Divi was, bigger buttons and, animations and drop shadows within the builder itself.
Elementary school color coding.
What's that?
Elementary school color coding.
Yeah, kind of. And now it's like, okay, this is big kid Divi. And I think for a lot of people that might be intimidating, where you're like, oh no, I have to learn all these new things, Flexbox and loops and blah, blah, blah. But think of it more as an opportunity to be able to expand your knowledge and be able to do bigger, better, more powerful things with the builder. So that's kind of an intro. I'm looking at the notes that Stephanie put together for us on what I was supposed to cover. I guess one last thing I want to say on that topic is Divi 4 was more of a page builder, where Divi 5 is more of a design system. And everything is kind of centered around the design system, which makes it easier once you learn how to work in the system, easier to build, faster to replicate things, way more maintainable as far as like keeping your site updated, as far as the design goes. And so it really is more of a professional level workflow toolkit than Divi 4 was. And then this is I'm going to try to work in the two drinking game words again, but this is the biggest update of Divi since the beginning. It really is a game changer, rebuilt from the ground up. Because if you look at like
double shot,
double, it's a double whammy. Because if you look at like Divi 1.0, it was like this block-based builder, right? And then we had Divi. I mean, there was updates along the way, but then Divi 3.0 was the next like really big update, and that was the visual builder. and it was the first like really good visual builder for WordPress. And then Divi 4 was the theme builder update, and so that was a really big update, but it was all still built on the same foundation. And so it's now been rebuilt from the ground up, which is a total game changer. And yeah,
You're gonna get everybody
exciting.
hammered
So-
before
That's
we even
enough.
get to the
so that was the catch up, right? So if you've kind of just been ignoring all the Divi 5 stuff, and now you're like, I need to get this figured out, well, now you should be caught up. That's Divi 5 basics as far
in a
as
nutshell.
in a nutshell. It's a game
I
changer.
think that's awesome. It is a game changer. So those of you who have used it, if you're in the chat or in the panel here, or if what you've been seeing and hearing, what's the word on the street, you guys? What are people loving? What are people stressed out about? Eric, I know there was a little discussion that you were part of just in anticipation of this show. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
On the accessibility side?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. So accessibility has been a major issue with Divi, really with all theme builders. And so this is a game changer for accessibility building.
Stop.
That'll be my only time. That'll be my only time, I promise.
This is vodka, and it's going to be gone by the end. This
Oh
is
my
a full glass of vodka.
But yeah, I mean, there's, that you can do so much more with it. It's not accessible out of the box, but nothing is, and nothing ever will be, but the barriers are gone. And with the new API integration, it's going to be even easier to have some solutions come into the marketplace. So I'm really excited for that. And just a side note, because I have been having this conversation with some people on Facebook. When you do talk about accessibility with it, don't hit people over the head that it's the law. Talk about being a good neighbor. When you come at it from it's the law, you make people with a disability, you paint them in a negative light, and it becomes something that people have to deal with. But if you're like, hey, here we can make you, we can help your website out by making it accessible, which makes you a great neighbor for people and online, and you're going to be appreciated by people for that. Just a completely different way to spend that. Just a little side note.
That's a good tip.
I love that.
Yeah, because if you go at it like the legal route, like then it just comes off as like insincere and just like a sales angle, like give me money to fix your accessibility or you're gonna get fined.
Yeah,
And people not want to do it.
Yeah. Well, and then again, it's like those stupid people with disabilities. I
know that's what I say.
Why do they have to be like that? Instead of like, oh yeah, we get to be a good neighbor. Like, oh, okay, we can help people. I've just found it's just been a much easier way. But this is just one of the things that Divi 5 is helping with, and going to make so much easier. And I don't think people with disabilities are stupid. I'm legally blind, so no hate mail.
Remember when I kept saying you were illegally blind, Eric? You came on that show when you visited.
Yeah, that was another drinking game involved.
Yeah, that was a fun show when Eric came on and we made jokes about being blind. That's why I love you, Eric, because you're so fun to we can all just joke about stuff and know it's just in love. Mike, what have you been seeing?
Yeah, well, what I was just thinking was that coming on the back of what Tim was just saying about a little bit of the background and history with Divi is that going back to 2016, the number one theme was Avada. That was the number one theme that everybody used, and Divi was like number 2 at that point, and then Beaver Builder was 3. And Divi somehow, over these years of withstanding all of the block builders and the change in WordPress, we got Generate Press, we got Cadence, we got Bricks. There's so Oxygen, so many builders come along that were all built out of the box fresh. I was looking at this, and Divi from 2021 to 2023 was number 2 to Elementor. Elementor's been number 1 for quite a long time now. but even now, it's still Divi and Astra are kind of like the two, number 2 and Elementor number 1, and Generate Press now is number 3 in the amount of people that are actually using it.
That's super interesting. Thanks for those stats.
Yeah, and I think I think what it said to me was that for every bit of noise that goes on in the own Divi community, where you see people saying certain things over the years, and if you think of the way that this has been rolled out, I mean, it's felt. I mean, I remember us talking about it in early 2024, and when we finished in 2024, we talked a little bit about Divi 5, and here we are 2 years later on launch day, if you like. And so rather than the go big or go home and the boom bust scenario where you go and put something out and everybody says, oh, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, and having to withstand going live with something and then the fallout of that and potentially losing a whole load of people that use Divi and in their client sites. ET Elegant Themes were really careful about it, and I know it was a source of frustration for a lot of people, but at the same time, we're going live with a product that the community has helped fix, if you like, by reporting bugs, by saying, in this alpha version this is wrong, in this beta version this is wrong. And so the finished product should be way better for people than than it would have been had we had just the clean break, if you like, and here you go, here's Divi 5, away you go, because we could have had it a lot sooner. But I think they wanted to build on it as well. And as Tim also said, the features and the things that are coming out recently, it's just week after week after week. It's hard enough in this new world of AI and all the different types of things that we can now do in our businesses to keep up with all of that, let alone what ET have actually done in terms of taking Divi to this new level. And I think this potentially will be the game changer for Elegant Themes in terms of the next period of growth using that theme. And I've got the words in.
You did.
Well
you got
said.
them all. And it's perfect.
Drink.
I thought we might show a little bit of comments from the chat. We've got a bunch of. So when I ask people what they're loving, I'm going to just share a few. First of all, someone put Anticipate Media said love the flex, and I thought somebody bragged about something at first. But
it was
really
Mike was in the background flexing his muscles.
Oh, he was showing his muscles.
There isn't any. They go that way.
Flex is the king from George Web Dev, and we've got Loop Builder from Divi Engine. That's maybe you could explain that to us, somebody, because I don't even understand the loop stuff yet. I would like to. We've got More Love for Flex from Deepak Dashayara. We'll just go with Deepak. Jackie Owen is loving how fast the back end is. We've got another one, our pal Sean Callahan, loving the speed and the ability to nest modules, and you can add accessibility tags easy. Those are all 3 great ones. Let's see, what else do we have? More speed. And then this is pretty much the main one right here. CRH Digital says, good riddance to the double reload. Tell me about it. I would just be like, this past year too, but I don't do a ton of building these days, but like editing sites and like self-help me if this thing reloads one more time. It's like the laptop's going out the window.
So I actually have a plugin coming out to bring back the double reload.
Great. That's perfect.
Just in case we missed it.
And then this one final thing that
and the jumping header.
Yeah, Greg Hyatt, Command Center. Mwah, that's the one that I am like, this could change the game. I'm not saying the other way. I can't do it. I'm so sick. Everything between AI and this new thing, like everybody says everything is changing the game. I'm like, what game are we even talking about anymore? It's all changed. But anyway, the Command Center, So cool. There's a couple plugins out there that offer this. I cannot remember the one name of it. Command UI. Is that what it is? Command UI. That is excellent. I have it installed on WordPress already, and this is going to be a similar functionality, I guess. And then I think WordPress itself is implementing something like this too. Does anybody know that? Am I making things up? I think they are. So
Could be, yeah.
I think they are. Anyway, and then the global dynamic features. Greg, you and I, as always, because I had on my list of things that are my favorites are the command center, the variables, and then presets. Hopefully presets work in Divi 5 because I never got them to. They never really worked right. Like I'm always like, what does this even mean when it was in the previous versions? But hopefully they.
All right, I already got one taker for my double reload plugin.
Oh, you did? Where is it? Oh yeah.
He's a lifetime member.
Oh yeah, that's Scott. Scott has been building sites too. I wanted to put up one of your other comments, Scott. I've lost it in the big channel here, but oh, this is a good one. He's all about Clamp, which is CSS. What's the right word to say it? It's a type of CSS. It's a way of writing CSS. How do you say it correctly?
Advanced unit CSS calculation.
There you go. It's hard. It's super geeky, and that's why we love. One of the many reasons we love you, Scott. That and the rollerblading videos on your profile, of course, always.
Yes.
But anyway, so let's take a minute and talk. There was another comment too where someone said, "Man, I tried to like mark these, but they're like flying by me so fast." Oh, here we go. I found it. Scott, a different Scott. Farquharson? Sorry, I don't know how to say your name. This is giving me memories back. Like I'm going to have tons of like deja vu on this episode where I feel so confident when I start a name and then realize midway I have no idea. It's so bad. And I hate mispronouncing people's names. So I'm sorry, Scott. He says, let's be honest. The Divi community has been catching slack for a long time. Happy to have a product to stand behind again. It does feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I have a neighbor, and this was when we first moved into our current house, so almost 7 years ago. But it was like, oh, what do you do? Type of conversation. And she was saying how she works for a marketing agency and does like web stuff. And I mentioned that I have a company where I create add-on products and online courses for the Divi theme. And her first response was, "Oh, I hate Divi. Like it gives me so many problems." What? And this was 7 years ago, and so, but it was like to me kind of just a small picture where there was like who said it? The comment you just had up. Divi has been catching a lot of flack for a lot of years, and and I want to say that like Nick and Elegant Themes, like they were aware, like they, I think, felt,
for sure.
I don't know if this is the right word, not to be dramatic, but they almost felt trapped because it was like, okay, we have all this outdated code and it's software. It's called technical debt, and they can't add in these new features or fix these like kind of I guess reoccurring bugs like the double reload because of just the foundational issues and the undertaking of doing what they did to completely rebuild the platform from the ground up, which was a game changer. I mean, that's a huge undertaking. And like
that, that is the one part that actually is a game changer, I think.
Yeah. Like that takes a lot of boldness because you're basically saying like, hey, we're going to let our revenue just absolutely tank for who knows how long while we rebuild our core product in the hopes of like having, a long-term future. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, it's like people got annoyed with how long it took, but they really did do it right because they could have done, and Nick has mentioned this publicly, they could have done what Oxygen did and basically said, we're going to go over here and create break dance and, not fully abandon our core product, but kind of abandon it, or do what there's another company that, or I think, it was Oxygen. When they finally did release a new version of Oxygen, it was like, but you can't update. Like you have to just like start fresh with the new version. There's no upgrade path. It's not backwards compatible. Yeah. And so that was kind of, that was like an example of like the wrong way to do it. And so even though it took a long time, they did it right. And so now we're able to reap the benefits. We can be proud of Divi again, not like embarrassed to bring it up like at a WordPress conference. And so,
hide in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. And so my hat's off to Nick and the team for doing everything the way they did it. And I think I commented on the release video with this sentiment, but like there is not a company in WordPress that has higher integrity and takes care of their customers more than Elegant Themes. Like I've been watching them for a lot of years now, since even like well before Divi, and they always do things the right way with the highest level of integrity. And so it makes me proud as someone who creates add-on products and courses for Divi that like, okay, I'm standing behind like a really good company that does things the right way. So,
that brings up sort of a slightly off-topic question, but how has it been for you, Tim? Because the word Divi is literally in your company name. Like your business is 100% reliant on Divi. Has that been difficult for you as far as like the attitude that people have had toward you and your business or your products over this sort of rough past?
No, I mean, it's been a struggle like the last few years. And I think Peter from Divi Engine can attest to this, and a lot of other product creators in the Divi community. Like we've had a slow few years because it's been in this transitional limbo where people don't want to like invest in Divi products that are made for Divi 4 when Divi 5 is coming out. But it's like, so everything was kind of almost at like a standstill where, people are just kind of waiting, like, let's wait and see what happens with Divi 5. But then Divi 5 just felt like it was never actually officially getting here. And so, so it's kind of been like we've all been us Divi product creators, like weathering the storm and like, all right, we just got to get through it. And so, it's definitely exciting. Yeah. So it's been a rough few years, but the future is bright.
I'm so glad to hear it. Now, when it comes to something like this, okay, so Divi was really one of the very first, or if I don't think it was the first. I think technically WP Engine or WP Bakery is what I meant to say. I don't know why I said WP Engine. WP Bakery is the
Visual
one
Composer
that was
their classic name.
Yes, I think that was the OG page builder. They were really ahead of their time, and that the company behind them is actually enormous, like wildly successful. Even though in our worlds we like hate them, but isn't that how it goes though? So anyway, the Divi really though, outside of that, was the first page builder that sort of entered into the realm of WordPress and website building that I've been aware of. And when the first version came out, I mean, I was pumped. So when did you guys actually start with Divi? What version did you enter Divi on?
1.0, very beginning.
Eric and Mike?
Yeah, I was 3. So 2014.
Yeah. Do you remember, Eric?
It would have been about the same time as Mike. When I got back into it, I was using some of the older Elegant themes, like Nexus was one of the last ones. And then because it was always a side hustle for me at the time. So I took a hiatus. And then when I came back to start gearing up to to do it as a side hustle. I mean, this was always supposed to just be a side hustle, to make some extra money. Whoops. Here we are now. So I think it was about 3.
Nice. Yeah, I started same deal. I started on 1 as well. But I was using Elegant Themes, and I was I just was sick of like, I would just use a theme to build sites as like to get me started. You know, I didn't want to start from scratch every single time, but I realized it was taking me so long because they were all so different. And so I found Elegant Themes that had so many themes, and I was like, this is perfect. Then I have one for, you know, I can find something for whatever I need. And I think I built one or two sites only using their regular themes when Divi came out, and I was like, this is awesome. Like, it blew my mind. It was a game changer. I think we could all agree when it came out. So when we see something like this, it really was a big deal. It really was revolutionary when it came out, and it was followed very quickly. And we can see all this stuff happen all the time too, where we've got like the first to market has a certain advantage, but then they have a disadvantage because everybody fixes their mistakes, you know, in their first versions. And then I think that's really what we see happening a lot in various industries. Yes, for sure. So, but now that they have really like stuck it out for the long game, there is a lot of potential for this to really swing the other way. So I would love to hear from you in the comments as well. But you guys, you three brilliant geeks here, what do you think a release like this, a big change, and the type of product that it is, what do you think this could mean for the greater WordPress ecosystem, not just for the Elegant Themes or Divi community?
Can I just say something that I found really quick while we wait for our live viewers to answer your question?
Sure.
So you're talking about history and when we started using Divi. So I was using Elegant Themes before there was Divi. And the way that things worked pre-Divi was they would create new themes, like one theme a month or every couple months or something. And, you know, it was pre-page builder. So you had limited customization abilities, and you know, you might have some like built-in tools to like change some of the styling, but it was kind of like that theme was like, that was it, that's what you chose, and you'd swap in your content and that was done. And they decided to create Divi before it was like fully Divi, and they're like, let's have some sort of like page builder built in, because they wanted to like really reinvent themselves because sales were struggling. And so they kept giving sneak peeks. And so there was a post that I just found it again. They updated it, so the date on it is not the original date, because it says 2022, but this was in like, I think October of 2013. But they kind of like gave this sneak peek of the original Divi. And there's a comment from myself where I said, this looks incredible. A site built on Divi will look great in my portfolio. Is it safe to assume that this new page builder concept will be the backbone of all new themes moving forward? And I was kind of right. Like, it is, except for they kind of stopped that, like, you know, a theme every month type of thing. And Divi was like basically the last theme they built besides Extra. But it's just kind of funny looking back at the past and kind of seeing like where Divi has come, where it started as just another theme in their portfolio, and then it kind of just reinvented their company. And, you know, however many years, 13 years later, it's still their core product.
That's awesome that you went and found your own comment.
That's really cool.
Tim's been around since the beginning, and he's showing receipts, everybody.
Yep.
Okay.
That comment was from October 13th, 2013, or October 10th of 2013.
So before the show started, I said to my esteemed
I'm
panel,
sorry, I forgot.
No, that's okay, that I was going to upgrade. I took a staging version of Web Design Pro today, and I was going to upgrade it while we were live. So I've been sort of beavering away in the background here. And I've had to deactivate a few plugins. But on the whole, it has upgraded really easily and really quickly. So this is minor stuff that I've got to deal with, as opposed to the early alpha versions when I first started using Divi 5, where I went, oh no, I'm going back. Straight away you could see that there were problems, and that there were things that I didn't have time to look at then, but I knew that they'd get fixed, and I went, okay, I'm going to keep revisiting Divi 5 as we go. I think there's a comment in the chat about what's the minor stuff. So in terms of
There it is.
the upgrade,
from
if you
Michael
go
Lofton.
to divi.webdesignpro.co, or you go to webdesignpro.co right now, you can see the differences between
Can we put those in the chat, Mike?
the two sites. Yeah, I can. Let's put that in there.
And by the way, some of these are going to come from the Focus WP account. If they do it straight through the chat here, we are renting some land. The Divi Chat podcast is renting a little bit of land over on the Focus WP channel. I don't know if any of you have noticed a little bit of sad news. All the live video streams, all the live videos are gone. They have been lost to cyberspace, and it's very sad and tragic. However, Mike and I were having a discussion about this earlier, and all of the audio only episodes are still there. They're all still live on your favorite podcast app, whether Apple or Spotify or all of them. They're all still live there. So that's at least something.
We could recreate them with AI, the video version.
We probably
There
I'm
you
not saying
go.
we should. I'm saying
Please,
we could.
not Eric's cartoon version.
We'll make it the cartoons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got the original site going into the chat here. Oh no, it's failed to post. Excellent. That's brilliant.
Oh, you know what? Links probably won't do it. Put it in the private, and I'll do it for you.
Okay.
But in the meantime, we've got a couple questions here. Actually, before we get into that, Tim, I'm wondering if you could share a little light on what it means to upgrade, because it seems like such a different platform. Is this where it's going to say, like, starting today because it's out of beta, is it going to say you have a theme update, or is this something you have to download and update? What are the things, what are some of the things that you need to, like, I've read, like, if you use some modules that aren't supported, then don't update. I'm like, okay, well, where's that list?
Right. Yeah. So no, all good questions. And yeah, so there will not suddenly be in WP admin a new update for Divi 5. In other words, your clients cannot update just randomly, or if you have auto updates enabled, it's not going to like randomly go from a Divi 4 point whatever version to Divi 5 automatically. You have to opt in to the Divi 5 upgrade path. So if you think of like, paths, I guess is the best way to say it. There's two different paths. There's Divi 4 and there's Divi 5. And there has been now for a while, two different paths. And I think we all kind of thought that the paths were going to merge today and that there would only be a Divi 5 path moving forward, but they're going to keep both paths open, and you have to opt into Divi 5 updates. And so once you opt into Divi 5 updates, you go onto the Divi 5 path. And of course you can, revert back and go back to the Divi 4 path if you decide to do that. But eventually the paths will merge at some later date, probably a year plus into the future. And so, sorry, I think our robot vacuum just started vacuuming right next to my door, and it like freaked me out.
As long as it doesn't knock the dog over, Tim.
No, the dog is safely snoozing on the couch.
That dog might have died several years ago. I've never seen it move. It's just always, it's been on your couch.
He's old. He's almost 13 years old now. And he does, it's kind of embarrassing, he does wear diapers because he leaks. No. He dribbles a little bit. He's an old man. And so
bless it.
Yeah.
As we say.
Okay, but yeah, so there's two different update paths, and you have to opt into it. Mm-hmm.
How do you opt in?
So that is done on the Divi 5, or sorry, the Divi dashboard. So if you go to the Divi menu in WP admin and click on dashboard, there is a button, depending on how I'm running an old version on this site I just pulled up. There's a button to enable Divi 5 updates. It's like a big blue button. Nick shows it in the release post video. He kind of walks through all these things. But yeah, there's a button to opt into it. And then once you do that, then it'll say you have an update. And then from there, you can update to the latest Divi 5. Now, one thing that this is kind of just good best practice for any type of WordPress maintenance, but always do things in a staging site. Always have
Yeah.
a backup. Always have an exit plan. So if something goes wrong and that one click, breaks everything, make sure you have a way out. So best case scenario, try it on a staging site first, but always have a backup on the live site, regardless. And then, because once you update, it's going to update to the Divi 5 version of Divi. However, Divi 5 actually also includes Divi 4, and so it's able to run your page in backwards compatibility mode. And so if your page has not been migrated, right? So you have once you update the theme, your pages and content hasn't actually changed to Divi 5 yet. It's still using the old Divi 4 foundation with shortcodes. You actually have to migrate and have a migrator built in to migrate all your content. The migrator will scan all your pages and give you a list of things that like if you have modules that are incompatible and that sort of thing. And then, yeah, it will migrate your page to the Divi 5 version so that you have get to benefit from the latest framework.
Tim, do you have to do all pages at once, or can you do it page by page?
You can do it page by page. That's actually something I just saw today in Nick's release post, is if once you update to Divi 5 and you haven't run the migrator yet, you're still running Divi 4. And so if you view a page on the front end of your site while you're logged in, you'll get a little red thing that says that Divi 5 is running in backwards compatibility mode. However, if you click into Divi, it actually migrates that page to Divi 5 immediately. And then once you click save, then that page is now in Divi 5, but that's only that page. And so in the example, Nick says, you don't have to go page by page. You can just go back to the migrator and then run everything all at once. But if for some reason you want to do it and test it on one page first, you can do that using that method of opening up the Divi builder and then saving it.
So okay, we've got a comment here from Floatin' Ride. Says the migration is great. I love the plan. I sent the plan to the client and said, okay, we need to drop all these plugins and incentivize them to slow down.
Good idea. Yeah, and it is so many sites that we've probably built over the years, or people that maybe haven't upgraded, that have got just these wealth of plugins on them that just don't need them, and it's a really good thing to go back. And this is a really good moment to slim down the amount of plugins that you've got on a website, on a client site, and just say, it might be that you put them there originally when you were building because you thought, that was okay to do. That's perfectly fine. But when you're going back and revisiting and getting a chance to rationalize things, it makes you visit everything. And of course, any clever modification that you may have done may now be compromised through the upgrade. And so that clever modification, if you've not looked at it for a number of years, as I'm just seeing now with this staging site, so I've gone into the edit the page section. So whilst the front end looks fine, when I've gone into edit the page, I've got all kinds of weird and wonderful issues because of the modifications that I put in the back end with GSAP, different header.php file. So in my child theme, things are causing me problems here that I would have to undo. So if you're you've created child themes and you've done these modifications, you've added different versions of JavaScript libraries to a website, don't think that you're going to suddenly upgrade to Divi 5 and the world's going to be absolutely fine. It's highly likely you're going to come across some problems, especially when you go into the back end and you want to make any changes to pages. So that's why, fully endorse what Tim just said. You do it on a staging site, take a copy of it, go and have a look before you start going down this route of, we're going to be okay now because Nick said that we're on version 5 officially, so we're all okay. No, it's a complete change, and you need to be really well aware of that before you go down that path.
And if anybody out there is terrified of this, first, before we talk about that, Eric, tell the folks what you're doing, how you're using this upgrade.
Okay. First off, you don't have to upgrade anything right away today. You don't need to do anything. So it's okay. Take a deep breath. and there's no rush into doing this. That's number one. Number two, I love that this is happening. This is giving my team and I a great chance to call each of our clients. So we've been working on putting together a whole standardized procedure for this, and I'll walk through a couple bits of it. But if anybody wants it, just email me, eric@ericdingler.com, and we'll get you a copy of the SOP. So
Nice.
what we're doing is we've taken all of our sites and we've put them into a spreadsheet, and we've ordered them from least likely to have an issue to this is going to suck. And those are our technical in-house terms. But we've ordered them, put them in order, and we're going to start with the easiest ones first. And we're going to send clients that we're doing, I think 3 a week is our goal. We're going to contact those 3 clients, and we're going to explain, hey, the software that your website is built on, because none of them know what a theme is. The software, your website is built on, going through a massive change.
Yeah.
We're going to have to go in and do some work to migrate your site over to it. Now, this is an amazing opportunity for us to fix some things on your website. And we go into those calls with a list of a couple ideas. Some of them are maybe, well, we used to use this old, plugin and it's not working. So we're going to change it over. And so let's say it's something this isn't true, but let's say you have a plugin, form that you were, for forms, a plugin you were using for forms that you can't use. Okay. Well, you're going to say, for example, we were looking at your forms. They all look a little dated. The consent box, little consent statements, those are out of date. We'd like to do all of this. Hey, for you, $750, we can make these minor upgrades and things like that. Now, you price these right, and a lot of your clients will go, yeah, that sounds good. That makes sense. You can actually get paid to do these unless you've already with some of our clients, we have written into our contracts. We didn't start doing this until like 6 months ago, unfortunately, but that your maintenance does not include major version upgrades. So if we need to charge an hourly fee, we can, but that's we have hundreds of sites. That's not the case. Now, we've already sold 8 redesigns off of these phone calls. And we're just doing
at the 750 mark, roughly.
No, 3,000. We've sold them all for 3,000. And we're just saying,
hey, y'all hear that?
Time. We're doing it. It's a good time to do a redesign. We don't need to rework your content. We're just going to do a facelift. Let's just do a brand new redesign. Use the same content. Let's just make it look better. It's been, 4 years since we did your website. It's been 8 years since we built your website. And, we're getting a very, people are like, yeah, okay, it's been a while. It's time to do it. And things like that. So this has been a really nice revenue generator. It's a really nice reason to call your clients. You can start with a redesign, but maybe they don't need the redesign. So you know what? Offer to tell them, by the way, this has been my favorite thing that we've been selling lately. We've been calling clients, you're going to phone and ask people, by the way, have you Googled anything lately and seen that AI summary at the top? Yeah. Mm-hmm. For your business to even have a chance to show up there, you need to have schema markup on your website. And we didn't put that on your website when we built it because it's never been needed. We can add it. It's a bit of a heavy lift the first time we do it, but once it's there, it's done. You don't have to worry about it. So it's a one-time thing, one and done, $2,500, all done. We have an 80% close rate. We had to stop calling our clients. We were calling all of our clients. We start one of these a week. We had to stop calling our clients in January because we were booked out already through the first part of the summer with clients that have already prepaid, but we're not able to start their schema markup until then. Well, for a lot of them, we're just going to upgrade their website at that time. And then we're going to use rank math to do it. This has been a massive revenue boost opportunity. Nobody's upset. Our clients are all very happy. We're getting a lot. Thanks for keeping an eye out for us. This is why we love, this is another reason we love In Transit Studios. You guys always got our back. Now, for the clients that don't, they're like, nah, I don't. Okay, no problem. We're going to
Nancy's saying it for them in the back.
What's
3K
that?
for a design. Nancy's telling everybody in the back here. She's saying it again for you. 3K for a refresh, 2K for SEO schema to be added. No more content, no nothing else. Like this is so guys, all of you who are out there going like nobody will pay that. They're literally paying it to Eric. So
yeah, and you
can do this.
Literally the sales calls are lit. I just gave you the script. Mm-hmm. Have you Googled anything lately and seen that AI summary at the top? Yeah, it's happening everywhere. Google's going all in on it. Now, to even have the chance to show up, and there's no, and I've even said to some clients, it's like the wild, wild west right now. I can't guarantee anything is going to show up, but to even have the chance to show up, we got to add this schema markup. And we send them a big questionnaire. They fill in the questionnaire. We use that questionnaire. We have ChatGPT create FAQs. We send the FAQs back to the clients for editing, and then we go in and we add it. The schema we use Rank Math SEO. I am 95% sure that's the plugin Peter told me we're using to do that. And he puts that in there, and then we add the FAQ boxes to a couple of the pages, and bish bosh, jobs are good, and boom, Bob's your uncle.
Eric, I hate to cut you off, but
that's been our approach.
Do you guys know what time it is? It is 5 minutes till the end of the hour.
Wow.
Like, how did this happen already? So
we have like a year and a half to catch up on. So
I know this isn't officially like have to be limited to 1 hour, but also everybody doesn't have all day to sit around. So let's keep going. If you guys have more questions and you want to stick around, we'll keep answering them for a while. But I also I thought maybe we could talk too about, so we've got a few things here. If you're feeling scared, if you're feeling nervous, overwhelmed, whatever, if you're anything except like super excited and can't wait to push the button, Eric just gave you a script and he gave you his email address that he'll send you something. So that's an option. That's a little bit of guidance and option. At Focus, we can do it for you. Like it's like an hour. Like it's nothing. It's not a big deal. Go to Focus, buy an hour, send in a ticket. We'll do it. And then Tim has a course coming out that's going to teach you all these things, presumably upgrading as well, right, Tim?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. And then Mike, I mean, maybe you just buy Mike a beer. I don't know. I'm not sure. Mike, did you want to do
beer, whatever?
You want to do this for anybody? Did you want to update
I'm
their
easily
sites for
pleased.
Okay, somebody here. Oh, Vicky Baptiste. Eric is super smart. It's true. He is.
I'm just greedy. No, I'm kidding. It's anytime there's a major shift from one of our tech companies, it's a golden opportunity to serve our clients. And when your clients believe that you want what's best for them, they reward you with these little certificates that have famous people's faces on them.
You're so stupid. You're such a dork. Okay, so I wanted to we've caught up on Divi a little bit. I thought maybe we'd take a few minutes. I want to catch up on like what's been happening in our lives. When was our last episode? Has it been
August 2024?
A year and a half. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So it's been a while. I know, right? So what's been going on in your lives for the past year and a half, everybody? Tim's just busy cranking out babies and stuff.
Yeah, we have a baby due, another girl in April 10th.
Yay.
So it is squeezing in the course before then. So
squeeze in a course before your wife squeezes out a baby.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, other than that, just we've been heads down trying to figure out Divi 5 to rebuild our products and stuff. And WebLogic had a couple questions about that. Do you want me to hold off on answering that, or is now a good time, Steph?
No, let's come back to it in a second. And also I need help finding it. I'll look for it. Can you put stars in the comments the way you're logged in or no?
I'm not logged in.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. I'll go look for it. I'll go look for it. While Mike, tell everybody what you've been up to, and I'll go look for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think since our last episode, the transition for me from doing way more SEO work than I ever did previous. When I started my business, it was kind of like I always built sites with SEO sort of built in, if you like, or offered to do that. And some people just said, no, I'm not interested. It's rare I come across anybody now that isn't interested in ranking. It's that the whole landscape has changed in terms of what AI is doing and has done to the whole SEO industry. And there are so many people that will tell you that they can rank you for number one, or they can do this, or they can do that, pumping out tons of crap that just like Google's just becoming, and Google's almost like from one day to the next isn't unsure which way to go with what it's got to cover. And I've seen a massive rise in really interesting with one client where they had like five contact forms that had come from ChatGPT in 2024. And in 2025, that rose to 90 to 100. So the change for, when Eric talks about schema and talks about how that's affecting, potentially getting into AI overviews is one thing. But when you see that live on any of the AI platforms, whether it's Claude, Perplexity, whatever, ChatGPT, and you see the amount of people that are now searching using that exclusively rather than Google, it's been a really, really interesting time. And I think this has probably been certainly in the 20 odd years I've been in IT, I've seen some changes, but I don't think I've seen the rate of change certainly in the last 18 months to 2 years in the way it's affected my business. And I think that probably all of us could say the same.
It sounds like a fun topic to discuss with you later, because I like talking about that and figuring out where things are heading. Float and Ride is going to plug us into his notebook LM to mine the gold flakes from the gold nuggets at the show today. Thanks, Float and Ride. I wish I knew who you are. Tell me your name. Do I know you? Eric, do you want to catch everybody up on where in the world you've been?
Yeah, I was curious. So I went into I have to look at photos now. So I went into our Amazon Prime photos and scrolled to August 24. We were in Costa Rica.
I was going to guess that as well.
We've been, oh my gosh, we left Costa Rica and went to Argentina. From there, had a ball in Argentina. Went from Buenos Aires all the way down across. Took an overnight bus clear down to the bottom of Argentina into the Patagonia region and went through an area there. Took another bus up over the mountains and crossed the border into Chile. And then we did 9 countries this last summer in Europe. But we left from Argentina. We went to the States for a week for Thanksgiving and then went to Ireland and been all around. So yeah, we've had 55 Airbnbs in 4 years.
That's proper digital nomad, Eric. That really is.
Sounds like so many chores. Like
my wife and I were interviewed on an Airbnb podcast, and we're like in the top 1% of Airbnb users. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, but we got it down to a science. I mean, you got it. All of us have lived out of a 55-liter carry-on bag and backpack combo. So we don't have much stuff to pack and leave, so we're pretty
I don't know how you do it. It's super cool though. What a gift you've given all your children, for sure.
Yeah.
So have added like their foundation. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had fun with that, but we are in the process of immigrating to the UK. Agency
It's
is
also wild,
going
yeah.
well. The agency is going well. My team is amazing. I'm blessed and highly favored with the team, and now I've got a coaching program, Profitable Team Accelerator. It's a 90-day cohort where I take a group of people, and in 90 days we hire your first or next employee, and we turn that into profit. And so we structure it out that way, and so I'm having fun talking leadership all day.
That's awesome. If you are, I've seen a couple folks there have to go. People have lives or whatever. I don't know. But if you do have to leave, definitely check back, because we're getting into some of the little goodies here that are. So I'll update the description of the video, and then I know I'll send out an email or maybe some social posts. We can all sort of try and get the word out, but we'll send out some links and things where you guys can take advantage of some of these cool things that we're talking about. Okay, so Float and Ride is James in Australia, so it's early there. Obviously, there's a tomorrow. He said, "Gosh, I missed this format. So good to see it back. It does feel good, doesn't it, James? We missed you too." I get to see James regularly at this time of day. Usually, this day and time, we still are doing the Focus on Your Biz hangout. Focus on Your Biz is my Facebook group, which this is wild, you guys. I started a Facebook group live on an episode of Divi Chat. It was we were talking about how social media and communities can help you in your business. And I had said I'd always wanted to start one, but I'm chicken to do it. And they nudged me into it, and I ended up starting the group live. And that's why it has a goofy name, because I came up with it on the fly and didn't overthink it like everything else. And so I started the group live on Divi Chat 7 years ago today. I just got a notification in my group.
That's
the
awesome.
day of our reunion show. What? Like, how cool
That's
is
crazy.
It's always 7.
And it's number 7, which is always our sort of our lucky number on this show, as you know. But the thing about that group is it's still going and it's still good. We've had different cycles of regulars and things like that, but we have recently been having some incredible discussions with some really brilliant folks who are doing cool things with AI. I know that's you're really doing something with AI, but they're really doing things in our industry, learning and sharing freely and stuff. So we're having some great discussions there. And I don't know, I just sort of accidentally jumped into what I've been doing, I guess. It was my turn anyway, though. But
it was.
So since the show ended, remember I had a little situation right before the show ended, a little about a year before, where I was in the hospital. I was really sick, and many of you knew that. Many of you were very kind, sent me loving greetings and all kind of other generous things. So I learned a lot going through that experience. My agent, I had an agency at the time, and Focus WP, and they did not go under. They really almost did. And I learned how many things I did not have in place that I should have. And so also coincidentally, 1 year ago today, I swear I'm not making this up. 1 year ago today, I fell and broke my leg and had to have surgery. It all ties together. Serendipity, as my friend Michael Lofton here in the chat would say. But it's so I broke my leg as well, which also took me out. I had to move because I lived on the 2nd floor and I didn't have an elevator, and I had to have surgery, and it really messed me up. So anyway, I learned a lot of things the hard way about what I did not have in place for my business. And I got literally hit by the bus. Not literally. I hate when people say literally. It's not literally. I got hit by I metaphorically got hit by the bus twice in less than 2 years. And
2 game changers.
You literally got metaphorically hit by the bus.
Yes.
Literally. Yeah. It really, I had to rebuild my ankle from the ground up. It was so bad. But anyway, so I've created a program. and it's about to launch soon. Finally, it's taken me forever. It's called the Agency Safety Net, and it's a program to help you prep your business, your agency, specifically if you're dealing with clients, and it's targeted primarily at agency people and freelancers because that's what I know. And it's to help you not have to go through some of the scary stuff that I went through with my business when I had to step away. So I'm going to put a link in the chat too, where I'm doing a founders launch that's just gone live. And so we're going to kick it off in about 6 weeks. The whole thing's going to start. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. That's something that I'm really proud of and really excited about. So if anybody else,
Stephanie, I wanted to jump in real quick. One thing I forgot to say walking through our process. Somebody in the chat said something about just being nervous about making the change and stuff like that. Which again, I completely get. So one of the things that we are doing is we're, making a backup of the site, creating a staging version. We are then the team member that's making the upgrade then does a Loom video walking through the site, clicking through the pages and not scrolling every single site, but our page, but almost all of them. And then we're saving that, then making the switch over to Divi 5, then migrating the pages and doing everything, and then doing another Loom video. So we've got a kind of a before and after. Now, the main reason we are doing that is I built that in because now I've got accountability. This is how, because people are always afraid to delegate. Well, what if my team messes up? Well, you create systems so that you protect that. And so this is part of that. But the other thing it does is, since we're letting all of our clients know, 6 months after we upgraded, a client could say, ever since you've upgraded my site, it's not been right. We're going to be I don't think
wait,
so.
do you have
Eric?
Are your clients here in South Carolina, in North Carolina with me?
Yeah, you got some redneck clients there, Eric.
We
You
do.
wait till you get to the UK and you're going to hear some of your accents then.
That's right. It'll be different. I'm not even going to try to do a British accent. But anyway, so just taking a little bit of time and saying, how can we systematize this for success? And the Loom videos are only going to be, 2 minutes. So they don't have to be anything, grand, but it gives you a visual snapshot. That way down the road, you can't say, actually, this look exactly like what it did.
It's super smart. We actually
Smart.
should probably do that for a lot of things, like when we launch anything. Okay. Now, again, it's 10 after. If you have to go, you have to go. If you want to stick around, if you guys could stick around for a little bit, you want to answer some questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put up this. That's not the right one. Sorry. That's Michael. We'll come back to that. There was the one that we mentioned before that Tim had. Okay. This is from Webologic. Is that Justin? Justin, is that you? Let me know in the chat. Has Divi 5 resulted in you considering retiring any of your plugins or giving you ideas for new plugins? This is a super interesting question, and it's really cool to have somebody who is a product creator in the chat with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And Webologic also had a couple previous questions before that, specifically related to Divi overlays, because Divi overlays is a pop-up plugin. And if you've been keeping up with Divi 5 can now do pop-ups natively. And so, which is great. And you might think, oh no, like what's going to happen to Divi overlays? Is it going to cease to exist? No, definitely not. Basically, I guess the short answer is, as long as our customers are continuing to use our plugins, even if those same things exist in Divi 5, we're not going to retire them or stop updating them. With that said, Divi overlays does things that Divi 5's canvas interactions, pop-ups can't do. Specifically like exit intent, being able to do exit animations. I have a whole long list of things that I put together. And then just the different workflow. I personally think that building pop-ups and Divi overlays is a lot easier than the new method that's natively built into Divi 5. But I'm also biased and I created Divi overlays and I'm very used to it. I spent like way too long trying to figure out how to build a pop-up using Divi 5 canvases and struggled through it. But then eventually got it to work, and it definitely has a lot of its benefits and it has its place for sure. As far as retiring other plugins, again, if people are still using them, we're not going to retire them, and we'll keep them updated. There are some things that are going to be sort of obsolete just because of the new capabilities in Divi 5, and so they're going to kind of slowly fade away. For example, like in our Divi modules plugin, we have a carousel module. Well, Divi 5 now has it's a carousel group. And so you can build carousels natively inside of Divi 5. So probably not going to put a lot of focus on that because most people are probably just going to use what's built into it. And so, so that's kind of the thought process. But the new capabilities, and Peter from Divi Engine mentioned this somewhere in the chat earlier on. He had to leave though. Divi 5 gives us product creators a lot of benefits. We now have a more powerful modern system to build on top of. We have the new rebuilt API. And so there's a lot of capabilities that we're going to have to come up with new, creative, innovative plugins for Divi 5. And yes, some of our older plugins, they were filling a gap that existed within Divi that now has been filled. And so they might kind of slowly fizzle out. Again, our policy for Divi Life, as long as customers are still using it, we're going to keep it updated and not going to, phase anything out completely. But
that makes sense.
I think that's answers
cool.
the question there.
That was an excellent question, Justin. I'm glad it sounds like you've got a really great idea for how you're going to handle it. Did anybody else see any questions in the chat that they wanted to answer? I think they've kind of wound down a bit, but
yeah,
I also
like somebody was asking some questions like, or they were making comments like, I wish there was a list of plugins that were compliant. I think in the next 7 days there will be, and there's going to be more videos than you can imagine tomorrow on YouTube on how to upgrade and migrate. I mean, every Divi influencer is going to be rushing to that. But I think you're just going to have to kind of also do it internally. But this is another good reason why it's good to use paid. If Sarah Oates was here, she would want us to say use premium plugins for this reason. This is another benefit of using premium plugins and paid plugins, and having being consistent with that you do, because when you get something like this and you change one website and you see like, oh, this is gonna be an issue. Well, now you just make a plan for it and systematize the fix of that out. So there's some things like that I know some people are asking about. Well, what about in this? It just kind of went today. It would be great to have some of those resources, but they don't exist yet, but they will. Just give it time, but be the one that starts making that.
Yeah. One of the comments I saw in the chat was talking about WordPress 7 release. And talking about the sort of their upgrade process that they were going through, only having done one actual upgrade and built sites with 4 and 5. I always keep coming back to this and saying that, don't any upgrade, it doesn't matter whether it's Divi or whether it's WordPress, there's always a potential. You don't just hit the go button. There's always a potential. Have an exit plan, have good backups in place before you do anything. And, especially when there's perhaps new features that do come along that you're excited to use, it's always better to try those new features on an area or on a website that you're not too concerned about, your testing area. I've seen people talk about local, where they do like their local installs using that piece of software. You can just download and you can pretty much run WordPress on your own, in your own space, on your own machine. You know, there's so many different things that you can do to protect yourself, and also to experiment and try different things, especially with all the changes that are going on, and making sure that when there is a new release, whatever it looks like, that you are covered. And you know, there's many people that run web design agencies run maintenance programs as well, and those maintenance programs should all cover all of these things for people. You know, if you never just, I've never ever just hit the go button on everything. You go and check things out first, you see what's happening in the community, and you don't always necessarily upgrade straight away unless you're upgrading for a security reason. You know, the patch is going to patch some high vulnerability. So it's exactly the same with whatever version that you've got.
Yeah, great points.
Okay, so we've got a question from Jack Selection. Is there any opportunity here for third-party immigration? Which I thought this was going to be an Eric question for sure. Turns out he meant integration, which it took my brain way too long to figure out. Is there any opportunity here for third-party integration similar to the commerce integration? And then in a follow-up question, he said maybe Gravity Forms integration. I feel like this is over my head. Tim, do you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so I think Divi 5 being rebuilt from the ground up, which is a game changer, by the way, it presents a lot of opportunities for third-party companies to build on the new API. It's going to make things easier, make integrations a lot easier for companies, because the old API was a pain and it was outdated. And so I've heard from my team. I'm not the one actually coding. And so, but the new API is a lot more modern and easier to work with, and is way more extendable. And so other companies can create their integrations a lot better. As far as Gravity Forms go, there was and is Gravity Forms, third-party Gravity Forms integrations made by third-party plugin creators to be able to, it's like a module to be able to bring in your form that you created in Gravity Forms and then style it how you want in the Divi builder. But yeah, that would be cool to have more like native integrations rather than just third party. So that's the tricky thing with like where we are now, is with elegant themes rapidly coming out with features and modules and things like that. And that's going to continue. It's like, this is, as Nick mentioned in the post today, this is like the beginning, and you know, it's not like the end and Divi 5 is here. No, they're going to keep adding stuff. And so the question is, where are the gaps going to be? Because the third party ecosystem always filled the gaps, and there was always plenty of gaps because Divi's feature development slowed down because of the limitations they had with the old foundation. So that's a big question, is where are the gaps going to be? Where are the opportunities going to be for companies to integrate and create third-party plugins and all of that fun stuff?
Cool. We've got George WebDev says Croco Block, which is an Elementor sort of Divi machine plugin, is going to work with Divi 5.
Yeah,
That's kind of interesting.
Before. Yeah.
My vote is still with
WebLogic had a question just above that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Is it a problem updating to Divi 5 if you have a child theme? I had this start as well. Yeah, Eric, I thought this was a good one. Could the child theme be incompatible?
So I guess it depends on what's in the child theme, what kind of child theme it is.
Yeah.
If it's like a blank child theme, just with like CSS and maybe some code snippets that you've personally added, chances are that's all going to work just fine. If it's like a premium child theme that you bought from a third-party company, like at least for our child themes at Divi Life, the majority of what the child theme is are layouts. And then we have some like integrations with plugins and stuff, but all of that gets converted. All of the designs that you get with the child theme, the styling, gets converted along with everything else on the site when you go through the Divi 5 migrator. So it's hard to say exactly. It depends on the child theme, what's in it.
That's a great
who
point, though,
built
that if
it.
you've purchased the theme, surely they're keeping, I would
Yeah,
assume
for
they're
sure.
keeping them capable for Divi 5. Okay, here's another one for you, Tim. Will you, from Anticipate Media, will you make extra modules for your previous courses, the Divi 4 ones, such as your speed course?
Yeah, so the plan is for the Divi Live courses. Right now, obviously, our focus is on the new Divi 5 course. Comes out on Monday. There's still a handful of spots left. Like I'm capping enrollment. And so that's our focus. And for the, next 4 weeks, my head's going to be down doing that and then having a baby after that. But then I do want to, like for Divi Creator Pro, that course was launched in 2022. And there's a decent amount of stuff that's showing Divi 4 and done in Divi 4 and stuff that just needs to be updated. So the plan is to basically go through and update all the courses one at a time and redo them in Divi 5 because they're just due for a refresh anyways. So rather than just adding on modules and having some stuff in Divi 4, some stuff in Divi 5, I think the best approach would be to redo them. And then, of course, anyone who has purchased the previous version of the course will get the new version automatically for free.
Okay. Hold on a second. We have a question here that I have not screened yet.
Yeah, we've got some new ones as well.
Yeah. Okay. Someone's an old school. He's a very old customer. He's like 90, I think. He's one of your oldest customers. Divi Life and Divi Machine lifetime user. D5 allows for a normally Elementor-centric plugin to be used with Divi if Crocker's your jam. I don't know. Does that mean anything? Sorry, I'm putting these up maybe faster.
Yeah, so
because they're so long to read.
Crocoblock historically makes Elementor plugins, and so I think his point is if you're used to Crocoblock and Elementor-centric plugins, you're going to now have the ability to use it in Divi as well, which is great.
Gotcha.
For sure. Like more companies creating Divi extensions and plugins is going to be good for the community. I think he was commenting because I said my vote is for Peter and Divi Engine, and that's just because I love Peter and he supports the community.
Sure. Okay,
well.
sorry.
But yeah, it's great that Crocoblock is also creating plugins.
This is the one I really should have put up here. Web Design Center. I have a question, please. I'm finding all the new features of Divi 5 very overwhelming. Tim, how much did you pay this person? Is this your Claudebot? Is your Claudebot named Web Design Center?
I just
finding all the new features of Divi 5 very overwhelming.
All these Mac Minis.
And I have so much to learn. Have you any advice on how to go about learning all these new featers?
Yeah. So
here it comes.
Yeah.
three routes. There is the dive in and just start playing with stuff and just get your hands dirty and see where it takes you. There's the YouTube route, which is look at the Elegant Themes YouTube channel, look at other YouTube channels that are putting out Divi content. There's not a whole lot of it out there, to be honest. We're going to see more of that. And then the third route is a paid route. I think my course might be the only like fully dedicated Divi 5 course. Anya from Divi Lover has Divi Stylist Academy, which she updated for Divi 5, and there's a whole module dedicated for Divi 5. She closed enrollment a few weeks ago. I've heard nothing but amazing things about her course as well, but it's more like that's a component of it. And it teaches, the design, styling, a lot of CSS stuff. That's an awesome route. But yeah, the dedicated Divi 5 course, divilife.com. It's going to teach you all the new features. We're going to go through everything. Who it's targeted at is people who are familiar with Divi 4 and are overwhelmed with the new features, because that's so many people, because there's so many new features that are different than Divi 4. And so it is going to be beginner friendly for those that are like brand new to Divi. Like you'll be able to get through it, but it's not like we're not going to focus on like how to build a WordPress page and how to log into WordPress. Like it's a Divi 5 course, and that's where the focus will be.
I can tell people this. I'm going to put some of my team through Tim's course.
because the investment, the ROI is on the time saving. You know, we're going to save hours and hours and hours and hours, you know, of trying to figure it out,
and figuring it out,
or watching this YouTube video that's disconnected to this concept and things like that. It's better just to do it all in. And we were talking before we hit record, and I was asking Tim, because I was like, you know, who exactly is your would for? Like, would it make sense for me to put my team through it? And, you know, while we were here, I dropped a link to the course to our director of web services, Peter. And I asked him, I was like, hey, you know, what do you think? You know, you guys want to do this? And I got a big, you know, I just was looking, and I got a big heck yes.
Nice. That's awesome.
No, he doesn't know how to swear. He's Bulgarian. It's an English thing. But yeah, so I would just say, like, why not? Especially if you're making money off of this, you know, it's a good investment, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so guys, and then also, P.S. Don't forget, Tim, I tell everybody to buy your course. Can you tell them what else they can do if they're overwhelmed? Go to focus.
Oh, yeah. So this is another sales pitch, but it's not really a sales pitch because it sells itself. If you don't want to mess with updating your client sites, and you're just like, it's not worth it to me, I don't want to spend the time, you want to focus your time on bringing a new business, go sign up at Focus WP and have them handle your updates for you. And here's the thing, I hear it's kind of addicting. You might just get addicted to it and realize, wow, they make my life so much easier. I don't want to even have to deal with the boring stuff ever again. I want to focus on growing my company and have Focus WP handle the nitty gritty updates and stuff like that. And Focus does a lot more than just website maintenance. They have a whole slew drop down of all the services.
I really should have pressured you into this years ago. You're very good at it. Thank you.
Well,
I appreciate that.
And I'll add on to that. Stephanie knows, because she's been through, you know, some of it. We've talked about some of it. You know, I teach people there's 3 ways to hire. You know, direct, you can just go out and hire somebody. You can hire through an agency, or you can do what I call gap hiring, is one way to fill your team. And Focus is great for that. We're having so much, like I said, we had to turn off calling and making sales and taking other people's money to do these structured datas. We're charging enough. I could put it together, you know, a thing and totally hire Stephanie to do that. Or why my team and I are focused on not me. I've never logged into Divi 5, and I have no plans to. I don't. Not my thing. So
says the Divi Chat panelist,
because I'll get too into it, and then no, it's just that's not my lane anymore. And so anyway, so I think Focus is a very viable option.
Thanks, you guys. You guys are the best.
Yeah.
Hey,
and the last thing I want to say is, you could also consider immigrating to the UK and be closer to Mike.
There you go. So I think before we wrap this up in a minute here, because it has been an hour and a half now, I just want to, like, any quick fun memories of Divi Chats past that anybody would like to share. I know I have a couple. I've already been thinking of them. So
Go on,
Mike, do you have one? Do you have one, Mike?
I think I'm going to go for my obvious one, but well, it was very early on for me when I was on Divi Chat, and it was probably my 2nd or 3rd episode.
Was it the bat?
It was the bat.
That's on my list too.
It's on your list. And we were, and it was a scream coming from the bedroom, and my wife said that the bat had flown into the bedroom. So I went out with her and remonstrated and said, "Look, I'm on this show. I've only been on it 2 weeks.
It was like your second
out
time
already,"
yeah.
And I'm like, "You just keep it down, you know." And she's like,
"I gotta step out."
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a memory for me. But I think
thought she was being murdered, but it turns out it was a bat, and you just left her with it.
I did. I abandoned I went, I was loyal to Divi Chat.
That's right. Okay. Priorities are important. The other one that was one I knew I'm so glad that was on your list too, because that was so hilarious. The other one, I have two that involve Tim, of course, because he's been on the show the longest for sure. But do you know the ones I'm gonna say, Tim?
I know one of them for sure.
Go ahead, you say it.
It's the microphone one, right?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Well, there was one I was talking, and it wasn't this mic; it was my old mic, which I still have right there. But I had been struggling with the mic stand, and like it would come off of the boom arm. And so while I was talking, I was like deep in thought, like focused on what I was saying, like very excited and passionately talking, and my mic just fell off. And I just picked it up and just kept talking because I was like, I want to finish what I'm saying. I'm not going to let this stupid microphone.
But he didn't hold it. It wasn't holding the microphone like you would, a handheld mic. He was holding the boom arm. And just talking into that. The other ones, that wasn't one on my list, but that was a really funny one. When you would always do your like standing desk, you like would just stand up the one week, and your desk is going like in your camera rising slowly, but your plug was wrapped around it, and when it got to a certain height, it yanked the plug out, and you just went, pew, you were gone.
Oh my gosh, hardware malfunctions, man.
Then there was one to recreate that for your Divi course. Tim.
Man, that was so funny though. When you came back and were like so embarrassed.
That's your icebreaker.
One that I like. Oh, it's like so cringe for me is when we did an entire episode on like how important using the right equipment is. And I found out like 45 minutes in that I wasn't using this mic that I'm speaking into. I was using my laptop mic.
Oh, I've been through that.
Anyway.
I was on Josh Hall's podcast and I had my mic in front of me, and for whatever reason my AirPods connected to Zoom and I didn't catch it, and so we did the whole episode.
Oh,
and it sounded like I was talking in the bathroom.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Eric, you got any funny memories or anything good? Anybody in the chat too, if you have any like good things that you remember or something that you learned that was really helpful to you, any of those things, we would love to hear them just for old time's sake. And sometimes it's just a good like reminder of things. Like Mike and I just went through, we were trying to like scroll through and try and remember some things the other day. And we were like, oh, remember this episode? Oh, remember that one? I mean, there was 296 total. So we almost made 300. I guess this is 297. Yeah. But anyway, so feel free. I think this chat will stay live, so you could still keep leaving comments on here, or if you're watching this on the replay, please do throw it in there. And does anybody have a final thought? Do you want to go around with a final thought?
Yeah, I mean, I would say based on the new release that has been with us for quite a number of months now, that still take care, be careful with what you do in terms of going live with Divi 5. If you are building Divi 5 fresh, as in you're not migrating from Divi 4, I think you're going to find the path and the learning experience to be a lot easier, simply because once you've installed it, you haven't got to worry about anything that's legacy that may potentially affect you or may give you pause and think, oh my God, what's going on here? If you come up with a problem, don't also forget that because a number of plugin authors haven't upgraded their plugins to be compatible, you might come across problems with that as well. There's safe mode in Divi as well, where you can literally just eliminate things one by one if you're having problems. But yeah, I would say just always be careful and make sure that you've got your backups, and especially if you're doing it on any client sites, don't go bowling in.
Mm-hmm. We've got a lovely comment. The Abole away.
That's Eric.
Eric, Eric says, great show, everyone. It was good to see your face, Tim. So Eric and Mike and I guess we maybe should have.
He's a longtime student, so he's seen my face a lot.
I'm just kidding. I know. But he just said, great show, everyone. It was good to see your face, Tim. Only.
Yes.
So anyway, I guess truth hurts, you know? Eric, what's your final thought?
I would say if you're worried and freaking out and nervous, take a deep breath, check your mindset on it. This a great opportunity to learn something new, great opportunity to serve your clients, to upskill, to provide even better service moving forward. I mean, there's just a lot of positives to it. When something doesn't work, don't do critics math. 10 good things plus one bad thing doesn't equal one bad thing. So I would say try to stay positive about it. Enjoy the experience. This is part of owning a business. It's, this is just the nature of it. So the way leadership goes, but your future is better because of it.
Let's see. I'm going to go with, I don't know. I keep thinking about that little chat we had before about how like we've stayed loyal to Divi and like now it's like time for us to like rise again. I think it's really cool. I think it's super exciting. Tech is changing and we get to be on the cutting edge of that. And I think that's really special. I also think as much as we have talked about all of the digital stuff, what a privilege it is to come on here and hang with all of you guys again and like see this community, like just the Divi community in and of itself, let alone the whole WordPress community. But this crew, like y'all are awesome. It's been a real treat to come on and get to see familiar YouTube handles, not familiar faces really, but to see all you guys that we remember from the good times. And this just reminds me too, like how important our community is whenever we're sitting alone in a room working on the internet all day and every day. So it's good that we all are sticking together. I just love that. Tim, did you want to wrap up with anything?
Yeah, I think
you know what's coming.
Like gasp. Somebody remembered.
Oh, I know it's going to be the end.
The end, yeah. Yeah, I think just go out there and have fun. Like as cheesy as that sounds, but like I think we all got into using Divi and WordPress and building websites because we enjoyed it. And so like because I've been so immersed in Divi 5, like prepping for the course and everything, like I've been really enjoying it. And where things that used to frustrate me about working in Divi 4 are now gone and everything's so fast and snappy. And so it's like I feel like I've kind of like rediscovered Divi and my joy of like building in Divi. And so that would be my advice, is just go and enjoy Divi and how modern it is. And yeah. And
guys, we had a first timer tonight. We had a first timer.
Oh wow.
My first Divi chat. And we're done.
Hey.
But stick with some of these other people. They're great. And come to the hangout after. We're doing a little after party. Because it's our usual focus on your biz hangout night. And so we're just gonna all go. There's some folks already over there, I think.
Another first time visitor.
What? Hey, Jackie. And she was like chatting with us and everything. I thought you were an OG. So, well, it was really great to be here.
Who thinks we should bring back Divi Chat? There's a.
It got so awkwardly quiet.
It got really quiet.
It got quiet because there's a delay between.
I know. And like none of us.
Yeah, I'm in the UK.
There's a lot of yeses in the chat, but if you want to see all the yeses, you got to go read the thing. All right, Tim. You know what to do.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Take care. Bye-bye.